The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 13, The Menace of Mysterio. Our tale begins with the shocking suddenness of a summer storm as we see...
Help! Police! I've been robbed!
There he goes, he's getting away.
Did you recognize him?
Of course, it was Spider-Man.
Nobody else can leap or climb sheer walls like that.
Watchman, on the roof. Well, this will take care of them.
Look out, he's tangling us up in that web of his. Hurry, we've got to cut ourselves free.
It's too late, he's getting away.
Seconds later, hidden by a slow rolling fog which spreads over the city, blotting out the moonlight, the colorful figure drifts silently to the ground using a hastily improvised parachute made of thin straw webbing. And then, after the Watchmen have freed themselves...
He got away, but at least we know who it was. It was Spider-Man.
We'll get him sooner or later, but I never thought he'd really turn to crime.
The next day, scenes like this take place all over the nation.
Read all about it. Spider-Man wanted by police.
It's unbelievable. Why would he do it?
He probably decided to cash in on all those superpowers. The crummy crook.
My children had always admired him. This will be such a shock to them.
It's a great shock to all of us.
He must be nuts if he thinks he can get away with a one-man crime wave, no matter how powerful he is.
The police will sure have a tough job getting him, but they'll do it sooner or later.
And in the office of J. Jonah Jameson, publisher of No Magazine and the Daily Bugle.
Find all the old editorials I wrote accusing Spider-Man of being a menace. I want to reprint them now, so people can see how right I was.
I can't believe this of Spider-Man. I still remember how he once saved my life.
And in the schoolyard of Midtown High.
Spider-Man sure had all of us fooled.
When I think how we made a hero of him, what fools we were.
Gee, I don't know, Liz. We can't be positive. He may still be innocent. Knock it off, Flash. He's guilty, and you know it.
And now, the moment we've been waiting for, let's visit Spider-Man himself in his everyday identity as Peter Parker, the teenage student.
This is impossible. It's insane. I know I didn't commit that crime, and yet, those witnesses, that evidence, it couldn't have been an imposter. Nobody else can shoot a web as I do, or climb sheer walls the way I can with my spider power. There's only one other answer, but it's too awful to think about. Am I becoming a split personality, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Perhaps I did do it in my sleep, without knowing?
Minutes later in the kitchen.
Gosh, sorry, Aunt May, that's the second dish I've dropped today.
Peter, dear, you don't seem to be yourself. Is anything wrong? You're not worried because our savings account is almost gone and it's getting harder to pay the mortgage each month, are you? We'll make out somehow, dear.
I know, Aunt May. Maybe I've been studying too hard. I'll just try to get some sleep.
And as Peter goes up to his room.
The poor dear. I worry about him so. He's not as rough and thick-skinned as most other boys. He's sensitive, and he worries more than he'll admit.
Aunt May is correct. Peter Parker is worried about something she'd never expect.
I never thought this would happen to me. I'm afraid to shut my eyes, to go to sleep.
But eventually sleep does come to Peter Parker, and the next morning when he wakes...
Bulletin! Spider-Man has struck again during the night.
Oh no! What's happening to me? Am I losing my mind? Maybe I'm going mad, doing things I can't remember the next morning. There's only one thing to do, only one way to find out.
And so, a short time later in the office of a nearby psychiatrist.
Don't be alarmed, Doc. I just want to know one thing. Can a person do something in his sleep that he'd never do awake? Spider-Man. If I can make a patient out of him, I'll make medical history. Imagine a mysterious superhero who's a mental case. I think I can help you. Just come down from that wall and lie down on the couch. I'll try to probe into your subconscious. Don't be nervous. Okay, Doc, but no tricks, you hear? Just make yourself comfortable here, relax, and then tell me anything that comes into your head. I appreciate this, Doctor. If you can help me, Oh no. What a mistake I almost made. If I just relax and say whatever I think of, I'm liable to give away my secret identity. I don't dare. Sorry, Doc. I just changed my mind. It looks like I'll have to find another solution. Sorry to have bothered you. Wait, come back. You're the kind of patient every psychiatrist dreams of. Stop.
A short time later at the offices of the Daily Bugle.
Peter, what's wrong? You look so dejected.
Nothing, Betty. I'm okay.
You're probably worried because you haven't sold any news photos to Mr. Jameson lately. Oh, Peter, if only you'd find some different type of work.
Lay off, will you, Betty? I'm in no mood to be preached to. You're always saying it's too dangerous to try to take exclusive crime photos. I don't tell you how to live your life. Don't butt into mine.
Yeah, you never spoke to me that way before.
Then Peter enters the private office of a jubilant J. Jonah Jameson.
Look at these letters, these telegrams. The public finally says I was right about Spider-Man. What a great triumph this is for me. I'm glad you're in a good mood, Mr. Jameson. I need a loan. My aunt has a mortgage payment to make and we're a little short. Why tell me? I'm not a bank. You know my rule, Parker. I don't lend money. I'm busy now. You know where the door is. But I'm not asking for much, just a little till I get some pictures for you. Don't try to take advantage of me because I'm so soft-hearted. The answer is no, unless you want to sell me the secret of how you take those great crime photos of yours. No dice. I know you must have some sort of special camera. Imagine if I ever told him I wear it in my belt when I'm dressed as Spider-Man swinging over the city in my web. Thanks for nothing, Mr. Jameson.
Finally,
I know I shouldn't do this while the whole city is hunting for Spider-Man, but the only way I can get the mortgage money for Aunt May is to take some news pics which JJ will pay me for. If I'm lucky, I may spot a crime being committed while I swing through town. Look, it's Spider-Man. After him. Call the police. Don't let him get away. It's worse than I thought. The public hates me now. And the terrible thing about it is, I don't know if they're right. I can't make the money I need, and I may be committing crimes without knowing it. Boy, life sure is a bowl of cherries.
the next day on the way to high school.
I don't know what to worry about first, paying the mortgage or wondering if I'm a sleepwalking criminal.
Peter, wait for me. I've been wanting to show you my new hairdo. Do you like it?
Sure, Liz, it's real nice. Of all the times to have to talk about a gal's hair. What nutty timing. For months, Liz wouldn't give me a tumble, but since I've been dating Betty, Liz has gotten a crush on me.
You look upset, Peter. Is anything wrong?
Wow, is that question the understatement of the year? Nah, everything's great, Liz. If it gets any better, I'll shoot myself.
Oh, Peter, I always knew you had a great sense of humor.
Meanwhile, a few yards away.
Quit kidding, Flash. You don't really think Spider-Man is innocent, do you? You're darn right I do. Let me tell you. Hey, look at that. Wowee. Gosh, Liz, I almost didn't recognize you. You're beautiful now.
Really, Mr. Thompson. And what was I before? Pray, tell.
Or Flash. He always says the wrong thing.
Meanwhile, at J. Jonah Jameson's office.
What did you call this meeting for, JJ?
Some nut sent me a note saying he would get rid of Spider-Man single-handed. I told him to come up here and prove it.
Look at the door.
I am Mysterio.
What a get-up. He's cornier looking than Spider-Man.
There is a reason for my disguise. If the underworld ever finds out about my powers, they might try to stop me by threatening my family.
Powers? What powers?
How do we know it's not a trick? You could be Spider-Man himself under that fishbowl.
You will learn soon enough that I mean what I say. Mysterio does not lie. I must go now. If you wish to end the menace of Spider-Man, follow the instructions in this envelope. Remember, although Spider-Man has great powers, the power of Mysterio is even greater.
Where'd that smoke come from? He's disappearing. He's gone. What kind of person was he?
Quiet. I'll say what this letter says. I don't get it, but it must make some sense, or Mysterio wouldn't have gone to all this trouble. Did you see that? The letter vanished in a puff of smoke.
You know, JJ, if Spider-Man can be beaten, I've got a hunch that Mysterio is the one to do it.
Well, we've got nothing to lose. I'll print that notice. and if it means the end of Spider-Man, I'll become a hero to the people of this city.
That's right, JJ.
The next day,
Did you see that notice in the Bugle today? I wonder who Mysterio is.
I don't know, but anyone with such a corny name must be a phony.
This may be the chance I've been waiting for. Maybe Mysterio knows what's behind this Spider-Man crime wave. I've got to meet him.
within minutes, one of the world's most famous, most controversial costumed figures approaches the Brooklyn Bridge in his own amazing manner.
I hope the whole thing isn't just a gag, but I can't afford not to check it out. I've got to move cautiously, in case it's a trap. But how can it be? There's no one in sight.
And then, suddenly, unexpectedly, a figure appears.
I am Mysterio. I am the one who will single-handedly destroy Spider-Man.
It wasn't a gag, but if that costumed clown thinks I'm a sitting duck, he's got another thing coming. I don't know what your game is, Mysterio, but hey.
Overconfident fool, my power is greater than yours. See how easily I can avoid your attack while springing behind you and launching one of my own.
Ow.
But, having the proportionate strength and agility of the invertebrate for whom he has named himself, Spider-Man quickly recovers, and then...
What's wrong, Mysterio? I don't hear you bragging now. How does he keep his balance that way without falling? I'll bet his shoes are magnetized. Well, I'll just grab him and holy cow, he dodged me again.
Did you think you could beat Mysterio with one measly blow?
That's what I get for pulling my punch because I want to take him alive. Well, if a wallop can't beat you, let's see what a web can do.
I told you my power was greater, now watch me prove it.
I don't get it. At one gesture, he seems to be stopping my web in midair. The web is dissolving, vaporizing, as though it's been sprayed with a fine chemical mist, too small for the eye to see.
Too bad, Spider-Man. Your puny little bag of tricks is almost exhausted, but there is no limit to my powers. See how easily I can elude you any time I desire.
That's his first big mistake. He can't lose himself in a cloud of smoke. My spider sense will lead me right to him.
But, once inside the thick billowy mist...
This never happened to me before. My spider sense isn't working. It's as though something is interfering with it, jamming it. I can't see him, nor can I sense him. But I mustn't give up. I'll swing wildly. Maybe I'll be lucky.
But Spider-Man's luck seems to be running true to its usual form. All bad.
Ugh, what a situation this is. I can't see him, but he sure can't see me. He's got to be near me somewhere. I'll just keep swinging. He planned every detail of this fight, even finding a way to jam my spider sense. Oh. I've got to do something. He's making a helpless punching bag out of me. My spider strength enables me to resist blows that would knock out normal men, but I'm still not invulnerable. Besides, it looks as though Mysterio does have superpowers which are as great as my own. Ugh. The longer I stay there, the more punishment I'll take. Only one thing to do, and this is it.
And as Spider-Man hits the water below, the dramatic figure of Mysterio appears once again through the billowing mist.
I've won that. If Spider-Man couldn't defeat me, then nobody can. Now Mysterio is supreme.
Seconds later, police helicopters appear on the scene.
Spider-Man has been defeated by Mysterio. We are proceeding with Operation Pickup.
Phew, what a drop. Uh-oh, police whirlybirds. If I don't move fast, I'll be caught.
Spider-Man swiftly fashions an airtight web helmet and places it over his head.
This'll enable me to hold my breath underwater long enough to get to safety.
Minutes later, it'll leap here.
Well, one thing is certain. A defeat like this will sure keep me from ever getting too conceited.
Then, after slowly reaching his home...
But the day wasn't a total loss. I did learn the answer to one of the things that's been worrying me.
And the next day, crowds lined Fifth Avenue as a motorcade travels by, led by a happily waving costumed figure.
Mysterio deserves this parade. At last, we have someone who can beat Spider-Man. Hooray for Mysterio. Spider-Man won't dare pull any more crimes in this city now.
And among the teenagers watching the parade, we find...
Still think Spider-Man's so great, Flash? Darn right I do. Mysterio's just a big publicity hound. If you ask me, my dough is still on Spider-Man.
You know something, Flash? You're not as dumb as you look. In fact, you're okay, fella.
Look, puny Parker, I don't need compliments from you. And while we're talking, I want to warn you to stay away from Liz Allen. She's my girlfriend.
Really? Too bad she doesn't seem to think so. But don't worry, Bright Eyes, you can have her.
A short time later, at the office of J. Jonah Jameson.
I want the members of my staff to meet Mysterio, the man who beat Spider-Man. Mysterio is a real crime fighter. He's not afraid to meet people and be interviewed, as that cowardly Spider-Man was. And once Mysterio has defeated Spider-Man for good, he will reveal his true identity exclusively to my newspaper. It'll be the scoop of the century for me. Right, Mysterio?
Right. Just so long as you remember the money you promised me.
Mysterio, I want you to meet Peter Parker. Don't let his age fool you. Despite his youth, he's the best photographer I've got. I'll expect him to take some great pictures of your next fight with Spider-Man. I'll try not to disappoint you. Both of you.
But, unnoticed by anyone in the room, Parker's left hand contains a small electronically treated spider pin.
While no one is paying attention, I'll just slip my little spider device into the folds of Mysterio's cloak. Like this. Now I'll be able to trace his movements. There's more to Mysterio than meets the eyes, and I'm gonna find out what it is.
Then, as Peter leaves Jameson's office.
I'm glad to see you smiling again, Peter. Are you celebrating Spider-Man's defeat also?
Not exactly, Betty. In fact, I'm not so sure that Spider-Man has been defeated. Well, I have to rush now. See you later.
You're not sure, but... he's never been so anxious to leave me before. Can he have met another girl? I've noticed a pretty blonde with him occasionally. Oh, stop it, Betty Brant. You are becoming jealous.
While behind the door to Jameson's office.
I shall leave you now, Jameson, in my own manner. Farewell, till next time.
He's gone. For heaven's sake, JJ, how does he do it?
Who cares? The important thing is that I finally found someone who can beat Spider-Man. I feel like celebrating.
But Jameson might not feel so triumphant if she could see a dramatic figure on a nearby rooftop waiting to receive the electronic signal from his hidden spider pin.
My spying device is beginning to register now.
Within minutes, a piercing spider signal flashes in the night outside of the TV movie studio building.
Hold it, Mysterio. We've some unfinished business to take care of.
Spider-Man? How?
You didn't think I'd let you choose the time and place for our next fight, did you?
Bah, it doesn't matter where we battle. I can beat you here as I did on the bridge before. All I need to do is create my concealing mist, which makes you unable to see me, and which also dulls your spider sense so you cannot be prepared for my blows. Do I make myself clear, Spider-Man? Or do you still want war-proof? I could do this all day.
Okay, I get the message. I can't cope with your bag of tricks. But admit one thing. It was you who committed those crimes, disguised as me, wasn't it?
Of course. Only I have the genius to imitate. In fact, to improve upon your own powers. I might as well tell you the whole story, for I shall see to it that you never tell anyone else. I used to be a movie stuntman, and then I became a special effects man for TV movies. I designed all sorts of costumes and props. Then I got the idea of imitating you. I spent many long weeks studying all your powers, all your abilities, everything that was to know about you. I was sure I could duplicate your feats. Whatever Spider-Man does naturally, I'll find a way to do it artificially. Using all the skill I had acquired designing movie props, I made a gun which fired a nylon cord resembling your own web. I designed shoes and gloves with special suction cups, enabling me to cling to walls. My suction cups work. From a distance, no one will know I'm not really Spider-Man. My plan seemed perfect. I could commit all sorts of crimes and you would get the blame. But then I got an even greater idea. I would create a separate identity for myself. I'd call myself Mysterio, and then I'd battle you. When I defeated you, I'd be a national hero, for no one would know that Mysterio is both the criminal and the conqueror. My helmet is based on the principle of your eyepieces. I can see out, but no one can see in. I created a fine spray made of specially treated acid, which was for the sole purpose of dissolving your web if you should ever use it against me. The bottoms of my boots contain chemical smoke ejectors as well as magnetic plate springs which enable me to duplicate your own amazing leaps. Even my name, Mysterio, was created to instill awe and fear in the hearts of my enemies. I was able to see you within my protective cloud because I have a built-in sonar device which aids me at the same time as it jams your own spider sense. And now I shall dispose of you forever.
Don't count on it, Big Mouth. I've got to stay around long enough to give this tape recorder to the police and prove my innocence.
A miniature recorder? Bah, it will do you no good. I'll destroy it after I've defeated you.
But in a split second, Spider-Man flips backwards out of the spreading mist.
Not this time, Mysterio. Remember one thing. Your power is artificial, but mine is natural. And I'll bet on my natural spider powers anytime. I've got to circle around, try to find him within the mist. Have to keep moving, fast. I can't lose the advantage. He's not here. Or here. But he's got to be nearby. If I keep swinging, then sooner or later I'll... Ah! I was right. There he is.
And then, as Mysterio goes sliding along the floor into the next-door studio.
Okay, quiet on set. Let's roll him, huh? Wait, what's that?
Get that guy out of here. He's in the wrong movie.
Gangway, boys. I know I'm not a member of Actors Equity, but I don't have time to get a union card right now. I've got a little job to finish first. You won't escape me with that smoke cloud again. My web will fall over you like a net, trapping you.
You fool. I'm prepared for anything you can do. I'll simply dissolve your web with my chemical spray and... Oof.
Thanks, fella. I hoped you'd do that to give me a chance to wallop you.
You forget. I used to be a movie stuntman. I know how to roll with a punch so as not to be hurt. And now I'll use my special spring boots to frustrate you again.
There's not a spring built that'll save you from me, Mysterio.
No, you can't stop me. You can't. I've waited too long, planned too well. I can't be thwarted now.
Rolling with the punch isn't going to help you now, Mysterio.
You didn't expect me to land upright due to my stuntman training, did you?
Nope. I'm overwhelmed. I don't see how little untalented me will ever defeat a genius like you.
Sarcasm won't help you now. I still know tricks you don't even suspect, like tossing an enemy over my back through a sudden move. And now that you're off balance, Huh? Where'd he go?
Up here. I know a trick or two myself. You picked on the wrong guy when you tried to frame me, Mysterio. You should have found some easy victim, like the Human Torch, for instance.
Don't just stand there. Somebody help Mysterio. Spider-Man's turned bad.
So you help Mysterio. I'm getting out of here while I still can.
The police. I'll call the police.
Sure, you do that little thing.
You haven't won yet, Spider-Man. I beat you once before and I'll do it again.
Using your little smoke routine again, eh? I'll say one thing for you, Mysterio. You never learn. Your concealing smokescreen won't help you while I can use my spider sense, and you can't stop me from using it if I smash your jammer. Like this. And now, I'll do you the best favor of all. I'll finish this off quickly, so that you won't get too bored. I mustn't forget to take my automatic camera, which I hung on a piece of webbing up here to catch all the action. I'll fasten it securely to my belt container again. It's like money in the bank to me. And now, one last plunge into Mysterio's cloud of mist, and I'll wrap this thing up for good. With my spider sense completely operational now, it's a breeze to make my way through the mist and leave the TV studio unseen by anyone.
And when the strange mist finally clears...
For the love of Pete, where'd they go?
You nincompoop, the greatest action scene in history, and you didn't even get it on film.
But they weren't members of the cast. Probably you don't even belong to the union.
And a few minutes later at police headquarters.
I heard Mysterio was here. What happened, Chief? It's incredible, Mr. Jameson. Spider-Man brought him in, and we have a full confession on tape from Mysterio's own lips. He's the criminal we've been seeking. Spider-Man is innocent.
Our men are picking up all the stolen loot now, Chief, thanks to Spider-Man.
Mysterio is the guilty one. Spider-Man is innocent. And after all I wrote in my newspapers, I'll be a laughingstock again. Oh no.
Then, when Jameson returns to his office...
Cancel all my appointments, Miss Brandt, and send down for a bottle of aspirin. A big bottle.
Yes, sir. Peter Parker was just in. He left some photos for you.
A lot of good photos can do me now. Well, huh? What are those? Fight scenes. Spider-Man and Mysterio. That lucky Parker. He must have been there just at the right time. These pictures are perfect for the front page. I'm saved. Stop the presses. We're putting out an extra. I'll run out a check for Parker. He won't have to worry about that mortgage now. I'll be generous and pay him almost half of what these pictures are worth. Got time for a visitor, JJ? You! I just dropped by to congratulate you on a perfect record. So far, you've been 100% wrong about me. I've got to hand it to you. I'll bet it's not easy to make a fool out of yourself all the time. What are you going to do? I just dropped by to help you, old pal. I figured you need a new outlook on life, so I thought I'd give you one. There. Help! Get me down from here! I'll get you for this yet, you masked menace! See if I don't! Look, it's Spider-Man, the one who caught Mysterio.
And so, Spider-Man is vindicated by the public. Then, the next day...
Looks like you were right all along about Spider-Man, Flash. I'm right about everything. But what about you, Knothead? Are you satisfied now that Spider-Man is one of the greatest guys around?
Heck no, Flash. Personally, I still wouldn't trust him any further than I can throw him.
Minutes later...
Poor Flash. If only he knew the real identity of his favorite hero. It would be worth anything to tell him someday, just to watch him explode.
But that day is still in the future, and until then, the fate has many more surprises in store for Spidey. Next issue, we present another book-length adventure with an unexpected guest star. We think you'll like it, so we'll see you then. The end.
Well, guys, that was The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 13. We saw the introduction to Mysterio and a bit of a mystery for Spidey to solve throughout the issue. It seems that he's still going strong with Betty, as he confirmed that he's currently dating her. And we can see Liz is trying to impress Peter seemingly by even changing up her hairstyle. But nonetheless, guys, if you enjoyed this series and wish to see it continue, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.